What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow, the ultimate place to find out all your Villa news. I'm your host, James Clifton, and this is Gary with...
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. Oh, mate, my voice is hoarse today.
Also,
What was
you
that?
seem in slightly better spirits, though, today than last time we spoke.
Yeah, mate, I've had 24 hours to kind of sleep and eat and, realise it's just a game and it's not the end of the world and life goes on and there's more important things in the world, right? It's just a game. Yeah, no, it's not. It's
No,
more
it's
than
not.
that. It's looking not, is it? Let's be honest.
When we didn't get this during COVID, I was so depressed. It was unreal. And the summer, without any kind of interesting football is just grim.
Well, mate, for the Ted Lasso fans out there, football is life, right?
Football is life. But yes, obviously, West Ham weekend Sunday 4:30.
4:30.
I will be there. You will be there.
Come on, mate. I've got a footballing day Sunday. My daughter's playing against Notts County in the morning, and then I'm gonna have to basically come straight to the game from her game. So it's a full day of watching football. It's a tough life.
Is she gonna be full kit?
No, we'll take a change of clothes. There's no way she'll come in full kit. She won't let me do it, mate, let alone herself. Do you know what I mean? And like that YouTube live of the day, I think she was fuming at me. I said, if you want a full kit on the internet, I said, chill out, there's only 5 people watching.
And one of them was her.
Yeah, one of them was
her. But yes, anyway, West Ham, big game because obviously if you take out the Champions League, get rid of the Champions League, forget that. It's an opportunity to get some momentum in the league, isn't it?
100%, mate. We've been saying for a couple of weeks, haven't we, that we need to put a little run together in the league to stay in contention with those European places. It's massive now. Like with the club announcing that we are now 18th on the globally performing network. So whatever they're doing is working, right? And that's fine. It's a step in the right direction. Although I still think we're going to end up reporting losses, at the end of the financial year. But we're in a much better place. But that means nothing if we're not competing at the highest level. And I'm not saying Champions League qualification. I think that might be a bit beyond us because there's other teams performing.
I think we'll know in like the next four weeks.
Because
I think it's not just about us; it's about those other teams above us and what they're doing. But obviously, we can only control what we do. But
of course. And as we mentioned, like with potentially though that 5th could be a Champions League place. That's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Although City are doing everything they can to make our coach lower.
Fucking hell. I mean, Pep just wants to ruin everything, doesn't he? Like he just can't help himself.
We're holding up England.
Mate,
us and Liverpool are like.
I think that's why I'm in a better mood because Man City are shit. They're literally that's the 8th. Yesterday's result, losing 4-2 to Paris. That's the 8th time they've conceded a lead to lose a game this season. That is unheard of. What is going on?
Yeah.
I'll take it all day long. It's like watching Man United suffer, watching Man City go through the toilet. I fucking love it, mate. Bring it on.
Spurs.
Couldn't happen to nicer teams as far as I'm concerned.
Spurs in a relegation fight.
Come on, bring it on. Man United and Spurs to get relegated this season. I've done that.
Jesus Christ.
To be fair, I was chatting to a couple of Man United fans yesterday at my daughter's football training, and mate, they're in like disbelief. They don't know what to do because where do you go in terms of, because obviously inherently it's what goes on behind the scenes that's the problem. And then you've got players that are dictating too much. But mate, it was funny watching them talk about the good old days of Dwight York and Andy Cole. I went, fuck off, you went stolen Dwight York from us as well. I hope you suffer.
Yeah, I was going to say Dwight York.
Burn. Like, we should have won the league if you hadn't come and stole him. I'm just like, I can't cope with you. Go away from me. These are kind of older guys as well, like who just are living in those glory years of Man United. So long may continue. Anyway, it's not a Man United podcast. It's back to the Villa. Fuck you, Man United. I hope you get relegated. Right? Massive game Sunday, mate. I think we have to win the game.
Yeah,
purely simple. I don't care about performance, right?
At home, we've got to be turning up at home. We've got to be winning our home games.
Yeah. It's time to put that. It's time to go on that like we did last year. 12 games, 12 wins.
Well, we beat them two weeks ago.
2 weeks in the FA Cup. But Graham Potter's had a little bit more time with the team now. He'd just taken over. Yeah, it's new manager bounce still. They caused us problems. I mean, to be fair, that was one of the worst games I've seen apart until the Monaco game. Do you know what I mean? So, I expect us to win. I don't know. I hope Emery's calmed down, if I'm honest, because I've never seen him. He was almost as angry as me. Right? I don't want to be angry, mate. Life's too short, but as football is life, right? Let's kind of. Yeah. We need to move forward. So I hope he's chilled out a little bit and can. My concern is that he won't ever troll the Watkins Duran thing again after Tuesday. So the age old question is: does he start with Watkins or Duran up front?
It's. I think he starts Watkins. Personally,
yeah, I agree. I think that's going to happen.
I think he will start Watkins. I think he also generally treats the cups and everything completely separate.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look at like your league form running into the game. I don't think, or anything like that. He usually does it completely separate. I think it will be Watkins. I can't see him being Duran. Because Watkins hasn't done anything wrong.
No. So, mate, apart from miss another sitter in another important game, and you just go, oh, for fuck. I don't want to dislike you. I love you, but for fuck's sake, just put the ball in the back of the net when you get a golden opportunity. Yeah. Anyway, the other question
did you see that stat that came out, by the way? I think John Townley put it out earlier. I know you love a stat.
Yeah, come on. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any media this morning, really.
I've been out John Townley popped it out on X, as it's called. Ollie Watkins has been involved in 99 Premier League goals in 168 appearances for Villa. If he scores or assists versus West Ham, he'll be the fastest player to 100 goals and assists since Kevin De Bruyne in July 2020, and the fastest Englishman since Harry Kane in November 2017.
I mean,
you can't argue with it. You just can't argue with it, mate. Like he is
Watkins for England.
Look, right. Yeah. Look, we're not going to get onto a whole Watkins debate again, but I will say that I think there was the thing about the XG, right? And he was like, he's got the highest in the league of missing big chances. But Salah and Haaland are third and second. So it's not like it means he's shit. The problem, like I said before, the problem is that we've been leaking goals. And so it's more under scrutiny because we're not winning games.
100%, mate. I love him. I can't argue with the stats. Like that puts me in my place to a certain degree. But fuck me, when the chips are down and he has a chance, I'm not backing him, mate. He's not a clinical striker. I love him to bits, but he needs to score more goals. Anyway, the other big question is: are we going to see Daniel Marlon debut? Is he going to start? Is he going to come on? Because they've already put a thing on. I did see last night there was I think it might have been on the official page of Villa that said he was talking about enthralling the crowd and stuff like that at Villa Park, and so for them to put that out, I think we're going to see him.
I'd love to see it because I also think Bailey's so off it.
Told you, Bailey's dead to me, mate. He should be playing in the 23s.
And we don't have anyone else really to play out there. I mean, he's played Rodgers out there, right, with Ramsey on the left, which doesn't really work for me.
It's all right, mate. I'm going to go full kit on Sunday. I'll play right wing. Not a problem.
Put it up and down our side as well because we're sitting.
Yeah, mate, better than Bailey anyway. Or I can do what Bailey does.
I can't see him. He won't start.
Emery doesn't start.
No, Emery doesn't do. Emery doesn't do this with new signings. He doesn't. Other than Onana, he doesn't just throw them in. Like, and he hasn't played in that league. He hasn't played in the Premier League for starters. He's been with us 2 weeks, something like that. No,
well,
I just don't think it happens.
Look at that. No, I'm sorry, Gary, but no, there's no way that's happening.
The second the team sheet comes out and he's in it, you'll clip this and you'll go.
James knows all. I don't know.
You see him come on. I can see him come on in with 30 minutes to go if we're 0-0 or we need something. I can see him coming on. But no,
I just want to see him play because I haven't watched. Yeah. I've seen the obviously YouTube highlights, which every player looks amazing, don't they? But I've not seen him play. So I need to ideally I'd like him to start because I want to see what his minerals are about. Because the whole point of getting him up to speed is, can he do? Forget about his attacking flair. That's got to be a given. That's what we've signed him for. What's he like off the ball? What's his work rate like? Because what we need is a rocket up this team's arse to fucking get a bit of tempo into it. Like, because I can't see Emery kind of like agreeing with how we're following his instructions. He said that people aren't doing it. So, like, we've talked about the way we played, or it's fairly straightforward. We can see what we're supposed to do, building up from the back. Or it just has to be quicker. It has to be more effective, better quality on the touch. Like, Tuesday was a prime example of how it's not done. Give the ball away in sloppy areas. Like, it's got to be better. It's got to be at high tempo. Those passes have to be accurate and concise. So I want to see now, particularly this second half of the season, there's 18 games left to go with this one, right? Let's go for it. I want to see some desire. Like, do we want to build it up? Because ultimately, I saw an interesting article yesterday about that very thing about kind of maintaining and going into the European stages, and how much do you want it? And that actually does Emery have the players that he wants, and our head's going to roll in the next kind of over the next few months, and actually are some players
we've said before,
just simply not good enough.
We've said before, Emery, that actually I think only 3 of the kind of senior squad starting 11, like anywhere around the starting 11, are actually Emery's.
Yeah.
It was Torres, Anana, and was Rogers under Emery?
Rogers. Yeah.
So that's it really. Obviously, there's Barkley, who's like a squad player.
Yeah.
There's but I think that's
Maatson
it.
as well, who was a
squad player.
Yeah.
And it's the same. Obviously, he's brought in Marlon now. And it's like, can he become the 4th that comes into there? Because then, if he does, then he's now starting to go, right, okay, well, half the team has improved. Like half of the players are starting to improve under him. But yeah, I can't see him starting. I can see him coming on. And the question, the amount of pressure on him is mad, though.
Well, mate, exactly.
If he does come on, the whole stadium's going to be like, right.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You need to show us something here.
I've got a feeling that we may just have to accept, right, that the Villa are going to have to take a step backwards to take 2 steps forwards, because this season's been so inconsistent and kind of injuries and players.
We rebuilt.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Emery's still building his team. Like, he might have.
He's only been here 2 years.
Yeah. So have another summer transfer window. Probably get rid of some more deadwood and improve the quality, and let's see what happens. But again, to do that, we've got to finish in the European places. So that's the double-edged sword, isn't it?
That's the thing, right? That's why I think we're making very calculated signings in January. We know the money that we've got now from this Champions League season, which doesn't come till next season, but it's decent because we've won games, and if we make the last 16, it jumps. I think it's like an £8 million bonus or something you get from. So that's another player you don't have to sell. You can actually build a squad by doing that. But yeah, the key for the summer is where we finish. If we don't finish Europe, it's another case of like a bit of a threadbare squad. What can you do? You have to sell to buy. You have to do all this kind of stuff. Whereas with Europe, we know we've got another season, and we know that next season will be fine financially. So they've always said with Europe, it's about consistently getting in, not just getting into it once, because that's when Newcastle couldn't really do much. But yes, Sunday is a massive game, because if we can win there, it makes sure that we are at least staying in that pack. If we don't win, I worry that we get cut. We end up getting a little bit cut adrift. So
I agree.
I think it's. I don't like saying it, but I feel like it's a must-win game. Partly because West Ham aren't playing well. We're at home, and we need to win.
I agree with all of that, mate. I think anything other than win, we start to fall away, and there's a gap that. We talk about European places. To do that now is the games coming up. These are the games that we need to win to be in that mix. If we win the next 3 games, which is against West Ham, Ipswich. What's the other one?
Chelsea. One. No. No, Wolves.
Wolves, right?
No,
Wolves away, right? So all 2 bottom 3, and
And we've
again
got an
bottom half
annoying
team.
FA Cup hosting Spurs in that as well.
Yeah, I don't at this point, mate. As much as I'll probably go to that cup game,
It's actually pretty nice. We got 5 games in like the next 20 days.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a lot of 5 games in like within the next 3 weeks, which with our squad how it is, quite threadbare at the moment. Players coming back, but you can't rush them in because they might get injured again.
Well, it's interesting. I sent you earlier that interview of Timo Mings that
See that what he said.
well, okay, well, have a watch of it. It's only 3 minutes long, but in it, she asked him, was the performance on Tuesday down to tiredness? And he was like adamant, can't put it down to tiredness.
Emery said
we had all the tools, like, so if the players are, I mean, again, it's a media data, so they might just be full of shit. Maybe they are tired because they certainly look tired. Maybe we just haven't travelled well. But it's only to, I think it's got to be mentally, mate, psychologically. It is, because it's the only thing that explains. It didn't make sense to me to go from the high of the second half at Arsenal to such an abysmal performance on Tuesday. Like, it's not just it was a slightly poor performance; it was the worst performance I've seen. So, to then move on to Sunday, we've got to somehow cheer everyone up and come with that fighting spirit. Now, like you say, because it is a must-win game, and I think it is a must-win game, they have to, if they can't get themselves up for it, I worry, because if they couldn't get themselves up for the Champions League, where you could have qualified for the top 8 and got that out of the way, to just a league game at home, that if they lose, okay, there is a gap, but there's still obviously games to call back. You can still rectify it. Like, what's the difference in mentality? An extra day's rest, is that kind of
my question
going to make a difference?
I suppose I'm back onto the game now. Part of that, it's a nice segue into, does he make changes? Because that 11 that played is kind of the 11 you would expect him to play at basically full strength, other than Buendia, which was a surprise.
Well, yes. So the only 2 options that, and I think they're both unavailable, that you would probably argue would change that, would be Onana and McGinn.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I know McGinn started training last week, but I don't know how far he's away from being match fit. And Onana, like Mr. Glass, our very own Samuel L. Jackson, I don't know. Like, I haven't heard anything.
For me, I'm like, does Buendia start? Does Rodgers get a rest and he plays Ramsey out on the left?
I think Rodgers does need. I think yes, mate. I think Rodgers has played every minute, and I'm not saying drop him because he's been poor. Like, I think the fact of the matter is he just needs a rest.
Yeah, he can't maintain it over like 90 minutes. He gets to, like, he can do it in bursts, and we can see what he can do. He can do it in the first half. He's obviously tiring.
Well, second half on Tuesday, mate, he couldn't. He looked like he couldn't move.
Worst thing that can happen right now is he plays him against West Ham, he gets injured.
Yeah. But I don't. It just seems that he's going to play every minute, like, because I just think he gives us that, like you say, even if it's maybe I'm just thinking, even if it's for 45 minutes, he gives us an outlet that nobody else gives.
Yeah,
which is absolutely right.
He was sick as well, so like I'm kind of like sitting there going, okay, we actually have an option here. Buendia's played well.
He did play well.
In the 10, and you've got Ramsey, who's come back to fitness. He came out at the end and had a few minutes.
Yeah.
Play him on the left, and then you can, if you want to put Marlon in on the right. I'm going to keep. By the way, I'm going to keep getting confused with Marlon Headwood. I'm going to keep thinking of Marlon.
Marlon. You call him Marlon, mate, and the rest of us call him boy's real name.
But it'll be interesting. I think they're the only tweaks he can make, because I think we're just hampered by injuries. But I think I'd like to see Buendia start. I'd like to see Buendia start against a team in the Premier League. The only thing I would say is they're big. West Ham are, Souček and Cossack, and
I think it's a difficult one for Emi in the Premier League, because again, he hasn't played for such a long time. But one of my criticisms of him is that he gets muscled off the ball too easily. And I think, and I'm not sure West Ham is the game for that, because, like you said, they are quite, particularly in midfield, a physical side, and will ultimately knock off the ball. I think Buendia is a good player for European football because you get a little bit more time and space. You know, it's not
maybe he does play Bogard then in that holding role and put Tielemans.
Yeah, but I'm not. I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be against starting Buendia because I think his performance on Tuesday probably warrants an opportunity. Like he was the only one that had any fire in his belly, that was chasing stuff down, that was trying to make things happen. Like it was, on reflection. So as that start, I don't know. It's unlikely, like you say, he hasn't played any minutes in the Premier League, so I don't know if that will be the case. He may go with Bogard, but it's what I'm gonna try, mate, and be as optimistic as possible. I want to because I'm sick and tired of feeling like after I've been depressed for 2 days. Like,
so what's your prediction then?
So inevitably we will concede. Right, I just can't see any other thing. So, but I'm going to go 3-1. I think we can beat them 3-1. Go one better than we did in the FA Cup. I think they will come and try and frustrate us like they did in the FA Cup. Really, I think they will probably part the bus because I think they need the points just as much as we do, and that's my only concern, that we'll struggle. But I think if we can turn up with enough tempo and enough desire and come out the traps flying and really go at them, right, and try and make things happen, then we might just, if we could score the first goal for a change, that would be lovely.
God.
Right?
And if we're going to concede, not concede within the first 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like,
oh, your audio went.
Sorry. What I would like is a 3-0 up, and they can score a consolation goal at the end.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then I can go, fuck's sake, we've conceded another goal, right? And be frustrated.
Yeah. Okay, so 3-1 you're going for?
3-1.
Is there a hot take in there?
Hot take. I'm running out of hot takes, mate, because I'm just frustrated. My hot take is that we move.
You have to change it every time. You can stick with the same one.
No, okay. So, I'm gonna stick with Tielemans screamer, 40-yard screamer. Well, not 40 yards, obviously, but somewhere outside the box. I want to see, because it's in his locker, and I know that Emery's probably looks like he's got a ban on shooting from outside the box, right? But just go against it. If you can go against him on Tuesday and not fucking turn up at all, surely having one shot from outside the area ain't going to kill you. Do you know what I mean? Particularly if it nestles in the top corner. So come on, Tielemans, don't let me down.
Okay. I'm going for a 1-0.
Ooh.
I'll go for a 1-0 win. I think they will play because with Potter, I think with the way that he's starting, he's having his influence on them now. They lost, I think, last week to Palace, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
1-0. I think we'll keep the clean sheet and we'll nick a goal. It'll be a grinder. That's why I reckon it's going to be one of them. I think it's also
there are other dating apps available, by the way.
Well done. That was very good. Good. No, I think 1-0. And my hot take.
Do you know what, mate?
Hang on.
Do your hot take. Yeah, sorry.
My hot take is Mings to score a header.
Oh, yeah. No, I like that. He should score more. Absolutely.
Or actually, my hot take will be: we'll take a corner that won't hit the first man.
Well, I was going to say, a hot take: Aston McPhee doesn't get out of his seat when a set piece comes on because he's so fucking ashamed.
They didn't give him any airtime on TNT. They usually they'll be like, come up for a corner or a free kick, and they'll look at us and they'll be like the set piece coach kind of thing. Nothing. The game, nothing.
Mate, it was. They obviously thought, no, we can't. It's just not warranting. This is terrible. You can't give him air coverage. He's the worst set piece coach that's ever lived. Like, and I know people throw stats at me about, and you do all the time, but
not this season.
As far as I'm concerned, he's been stealing away for 4 years. He should go down with the under 23s with Bailey and learn a trade. Fucking knobheads, pair of them, right? But yeah, going on your prediction, I'd take that, mate. 1-0.
Oh God, yeah.
I absolutely would. I think if we,
I don't want to draw. Draw's not good enough. Like we have to win.
We have to win the game. But if you could guarantee me success for the rest of the season, we could win the rest of our remaining games 1-0, and it'd be scrappy 1-0s.
Yeah,
all day long, mate. All day long. Yeah, well, yeah, because form can always come, and you can always play wonderful football. We've got that in our ability, but having it is a skill within a team to grind out results when things aren't going your way. Like, you can play well. Like, so the basics are keep a clean sheet. Like, you can't lose a football match if you don't concede a goal. Like,
Exactly.
so I'd rather us be so solid at the back that we know that we've got pace and options attacking wise to cause teams problems, and we have. We've got a good attacking lineup and we've got a good midfield, but we half the time we're so lackadaisy the goals that we concede. So yeah, bring that on, mate. Clean sheets all day long. I'll take it. Please, please let Christmas come early. I know it's January, but let it come early. Like, just
yeah. Well, I'll probably call that for this episode. Thank you, everyone. As always, comments, likes, subscribe. We will be at the game on Sunday. So if you're miraculously one of those 57 people that are subscribed and are going to the game as well, come over and say hi.
Mate, if that happens, I'll be over the moon.
Make my day.
We'll be hanging outside the Trinity Road entrance by the McGregor statue for 10 minutes before kickoff. Come and say hi if you recognise. That'd be amazing. Make my daughter's head explode.
But we will be putting stuff. We will be doing like some shorts throughout the game, and then we will come back with a post-match reaction on the Monday. As always, guys, thanks everyone. And Gary, send us off.
Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue. The voice is still hoarse. See you next time. Peace.